The story of Koitalel Arap Samoei is not merely a chapter in a history book. It is a living, breathing wound in the heart of the Nandi people and a powerful symbol of a wider struggle. He was more than a man. He was the Orkoyot, a figure woven from the very fabric of the spiritual and earthly realms, a prophet and leader whose authority was believed to be divinely ordained. For 10 long years, he stood as an unyielding fortress against the relentless tide of British colonialism, a resistance that became a legend. His was a war fought not on open fields, but from the shadows of the forests and the folds of the hills. A masterful campaign of guerrilla tactics that targeted the lifeblood of the colonial project, the Uganda Railway. His warriors, moving like ghosts, would descend upon construction sites and supply caravans, vanishing before the superior firepower of the British could be brought to bear. This was not just a military conflict, it was a spiritual one. Koitalel's power, drawn from his connection to the ancestors and the god Asis, unified his people and made their resolve as steadfast as the mountains they called home. The frustration of the British colonial forces grew with each passing year, until Colonel Richard Meinertzhagen resorted to the oldest trick of treachery. He proposed a peace meeting, a truce where both leaders would meet with a small, unarmed escort. It was a lie, a carefully laid trap. On October 19, 1905, as the two men moved to greet one another, the handshake that was meant to symbolize peace became a prelude to murder. Meinertzhagen drew his pistol and shot Koitalel dead. In the ensuing massacre of his unsuspecting followers, the ultimate desecration occurred. The Orkoyot, the spiritual heart of the Nandi, was beheaded. His head, a sacred vessel of his people's identity and history, was taken as a war trophy, a grisly token of a brutal conquest. With its leader gone, the organized resistance shattered, and the Nandi were forcibly driven from their ancestral lands, their world broken. But the theft of Koitalel's head was a theft that echoed through generations. For the Nandi, a proper burial is not a mere formality. It is a sacred duty that allows the spirit of the ancestor to transition peacefully. Without his skull, Koitalel's spirit was condemned to a state of unrest, and his community was left spiritually incomplete, forever searching for the missing piece of their soul. This loss became a powerful metaphor for the countless other ancestral and spiritual artifacts looted from Kenya. The Vigango statues, the ceremonial regalia, the ritual objects, all of them physical manifestations of a disrupted spiritual order. The quest for the return of Koitalel's remains became a quiet, persistent drumbeat of justice, a demand for the mending of a profound cultural tear. For over a century, his head remained lost, its whereabouts a mystery buried in the archives and private collections of the former colonizer. Then, in 2023, a fragment of his legacy found its way home. Not the skull, but a lock of his hair and a few personal effects, discovered not in a major London institution, but in a museum in Stirling, Scotland. Their return was a moment of powerful, if partial, closure. The ceremony was heavy with emotion, a testament to a grief that had been passed down from parent to child for more than 100 years. Yet it was also a reminder that the journey is not over. The skull of the great Orkoyot is still out there, somewhere. The fight for its return continues, inextricably linked to the broader movement to reclaim all that was stolen. It is a fight not for bones, but for dignity, not for an artifact, but for the peace of a hero's spirit in the healing of a nation's memory.